Hello again, this is Doug, the 2-Minute Gardener. Time for another small backyard remodel. So this particular backyard had kind of a sloping problem in that the grass and the dirt and everything just kind of sloped to the house, which created all kinds of drainage issues in the winter. And their little dog Mabel, sweet little long-haired dachshund, also had some issues with the grass and the burrs, and finally they just had privacy issues. So we decided to do the privacy issue first. So the first thing we did was bring in these giant podocarpus because we wanted to bring them across the landscape area before we started building the little retaining wall to flatten the yard and do all the artificial turf work. So those are in the backyard. Now it's time to flatten the yard. Took out about 15 yards of soil, then started building this retaining wall around the perimeter. So the idea here was that what was going to become the artificial turf lawn would slope away from the house and towards the wall itself. So they built the wall, and now it's time to start building the artificial turf. The clients here were a bit on the elderly side, and they just did not want to mow lawns. They didn't want to deal with this. In fact, they only lived in this house part-time. They were one of those what you call snowbirds. So anyway, put in the crushed gravel as a good sub-base, and then it's time to bring in that leveling sand and level it off really, really nicely. And then once we get the leveling sand in, yeah, it's time to bring in the big turf. But first, again, make sure the leveling sand is nice, level, and below the grade of the patio. Then the four guys hauled this very heavy roll of turf all the way into the backyard. Before they lay it, they got to sweep it one more time, make sure all the debris is out of there, make sure it's completely nice and level, and then it's time to roll out the turf. Now, it's really important when you're laying artificial turf that you measure twice and then cut it. So make sure it's nice and level and fitting all the edges, but it's also important that you nail down one side, pull it, and make sure you cut well past where it's going to be. So you have to cut it twice. You have to cut it once to do a rough cut, like you see there, and then you're going to really stretch it and pull it before you do that final cut, because once you've cut it that second time, there is no gluing the turf back on. So again, nail it to the one side and pull it hard in the other direction, and that's when you do your final finished trim cut to get it looking just nice and pretty and all the way there. You can use a really sharp X-Acto knife for that kind of thing. Once you've trimmed it all out, then it's time to start nailing the turf down. Now, it's really important that you use a turf stretcher when you're doing this. That's what that little handheld tool is in that guy's hands. You have the nails going in, and there's an example of the nails, to anchor it one side, and then you use that turf stretcher to stretch that turf and get it really nice and tight. And again, just keep working the turf with the nails, and then stretch, and then the nails and the stretch. And again, you work this wonderful turf stretcher to get it going, and get it nice and tight. And those are the nails you see. And once they get it all stretched out, then it's time to use the infill. Now, when you're using infill, it's important that you use the right kind of infill. Now, this yard was for a dog, so they actually sell odor-absorbing infill for pet artificial turf lawns, and that's what they used here. And it takes a lot of it to fill it up. Make sure you look at the bag to make sure you're getting enough pounds per square foot. Once you've laid all that turf, then it's time to bring in the power broom. Boy, doesn't this look like a fun toy. And just really broom the holy bejeebies out of this thing to get it nice and pushed in there. Now, it's important that you realize when you're doing this, you want to do this before you do any of the planting, because this thing makes a big mess. Power brooming that whole thing in. Once you've gotten that broomed in, then you want to use an air blower to kind of blow the excess out. And make sure you wear a dust mask, because this is really nasty silicon stuff. The last step on the turf is then you kind of wet it all down. Make sure all that dust is down well and safe for the dogs. All right, so the turf is done. The walls are done. Haven't done the plants yet, but I think it's time. How's that song go? Who let the dogs out? Yeah, it's time to let Mabel out. Let Mabel go check it out. And she approves of it. She loves having this wonderful, nice turf. And because you have that odor-absorbing white infill, it's not that hot. All right, next it's time to do the plants, starting with that big old hedge. Planted that big old hedge in the side, give them some wonderful privacy from the neighbors on that side. And on this side, it's a mixture of small perennials. Added a bunch of trees to give them privacy from the back side. And again, because we have this wonderful Simplest Keystone garden wall, it gives it a really wonderful look. And here's the backyard 4 years later. Came back to visit, see how everything grew in. And in just 4 years, wow, what wonderful privacy. They have these wonderful fruit trees, all kinds of just a beautiful backyard that they really love. And Mabel loves it as well. But here's another look at that wonderful, wonderful backyard. Well, that's all the time we have for today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to get more of our garden videos. Until next time, this is Doug, the 2-Minute Gardener, saying thanks for watching.